up, guys? Welcome back. So pretty much, guys, as you guys just finished seeing, we ended up pretty much just removing the full rack and pinion today. Got all that situated. I'm gonna go ahead and tear it apart because we still need to do the bearings and pretty much do everything that needs to be done as far as upper control arms also, where we can have camber arms. I'm gonna clean up the rack and pinion and basically clean up the subframe once again. I also installed the titanium hardware onto the transmission now that a couple days ago we went with Brandon. We have shut up. Huge shout out to him once again for helping me basically get everything done that I needed to get done on the transmission. Now pretty much what I got to do now is concentrate on the rest of the engine bay. I'm still waiting for some parts to show up. I think what I'm going to end up doing is pretty much assembling the inside of the car as far as the dash. Get that assembled, get all the wiring pretty much done so that way it's less process we got to do. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and cover up the hole still and just go around it with some tape because I still got to put the bushings in and stuff. So that's something I'm still deciding on what I'm going to do. I'm still waiting for the heater core to show up so that way we can get that put into the dash. But either way, if it has to wait, it'll wait. So the next thing I got to really concentrate, guys, is actually removing these brake lines and also cutting back the fuel lines going underneath the car. And the reason why is because they're an eyesore right there and I want it to be underneath so we can run more of a PTFE line coming up, because we are going to be mounting the fuel filter down here on the frame rail. And if I can get that done, then all that will be situated so that way we're just ready to keep rocking and rolling and keep making progress on the EK, because I still need to make more progress on it so we can get the car to paint, which it's leaving in just a few days. Also, I need to tear apart the motor because I need to take off the head and basically do the head gasket, ARP head studs, and also do the Type S oil pump conversion. Hopefully we can get that done here in this video. Possibly, I'm not guaranteeing it, but we're going to see how much progress we can make, because I still got a long ways to go. Even though it doesn't look like it, there's a long ways. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So pretty much it's a new day, and over the weekend I actually had my wife help me pick up the engine and put it onto the engine stand because I am going to be tearing it apart. I am going to take off the head and pretty much put a new head gasket, ARP head studs, and so on and so forth, and also the oil pump conversion. So what I'm actually going to be doing now, other than you guys seen, we pretty much took off the whole subframe from the car, and so pretty much the whole engine bay is set and ready. There's a few little things that need to do to it, and I'll address that probably here in this video. I need to mount this fuel filter and this bracket, and my thoughts are to actually mount it here on this frame. So it looks like there's plenty of meat on the bottom for the metal, so we can put a riv nut on it and then basically screw it into its place, and then from there we'll run the alien lines back down the car, and then we can still run the alien lines on top to the engine and everything else. So the only other lines that'll need to get made once we do swap over to a fuel cell is basically the alien line from basically where the filter meets all the way back to the fuel cell itself. So what I'm going to concentrate right now is actually removing the moldings and the side skirts. I also ended up fixing the original SIR bumper that I ended up picking up from Moshi. There were some issues. We couldn't come to a date to meet up, so I ended up just trying to fix this one, and it works pretty well for what it is. I did a little bit of repair on the bottom of it, and I'm still gonna have to do a little bit more repair. We still have a gap that I'm not 100% happy with, but I am gonna have to make do with it. It doesn't look too bad, and I think I would rather have that gap so that way this doesn't rub up onto the paint, because either way it is gonna get painted, and I don't want it to destroy the old or the new paint that goes onto the car from it moving up and down and so on and so forth. So let me go ahead and continue. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing the moldings off the car and taking off the rear door panels, so we are at least a little bit more farther along of having it ready for the painter.
I can hear the demons call when they do what they do, and now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but
Alright guys, so pretty much now I ended up removing the front windshield, the front window here. What I did is I ended up guinea rigging it with the battery. I ended up just putting some wires to it and then hot wiring the motor. So now I'm gonna go ahead and continue the same thing on the driver's side, so that way basically we can get all the windows out except for the driver window, the windshield and the rear window, guys. So let's just continue.
Gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon it can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching for a purpose, I hope it's worth it. This society is really trying me. Ain't no hide and seek, I hide to be far from anxiety. I need my space, I need my privacy. I need some silence, please, you're all too loud. You don't speak quietly, opinions violently thrown across every surface. It makes me nervous, it's the world honestly burning. That's all I'm learning. Hope that we can...
Alright guys, pretty much everything is done now as you guys finish seeing. I just ended up using that battery. I kind of got a little bit of a shock, so you see me jump in the video, but everything is done as far as the doors, windows, and everything else. I'm not going to remove these seals. I'm going to let the gentleman take it off because I did remove the back ones and they kind of ripped on me. So that's something else I'm going to be looking for in the junkyard. I'm going to buy the tool so that I can pull the clips out when I go to the junkyard. But other than that, we are set and locked in. I was debating on whether I should take this chrome trim off also, but I think I'm going to leave that. I'm also debating whether I should take these out here. And also, one other question, guys. Do you guys think I should actually color match the moldings to the new color that we're painting the car? Or do you guys think the black accent, of me painting them trim black again, will go along with it? I feel, in all my honest opinion, that painting them black would actually give it the contrast that this car needs to break it up. So that way it doesn't look like just one solid car. Even though I love some of the way the cars look like when it's one solid color, I just feel that this car really needs that because it will give it a contrast, especially with the moving kit and everything else going on. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, basically off camera, guys, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of the interior, but I'm going to cap it out today because I need to go ahead and either load some of this stuff up into my truck and then get rid of it, throw it in the dumpster and get rid of it, because I posted up on my Instagram, I posted up on Facebook. I've had people flake on me with the door panels, the dash. There's a lot of stuff that I need to get rid of because I just do not have the room for it anymore, and I won't have a need for it. I still have the OEM factory hood here. I also have the rear trunk, the OEM trunk. So I'm just going to go ahead and just see if I can scrap it, if I can sell some of these parts to recoup a little bit of money. That will help me tremendously. But if not, in the trash it will go. I also got to remove the wing and take that apart so that way it can go there separate, because a little stuff that I am worried about, especially with the car going to paint, is the very expensive parts. But I pretty much trust this guy and I know it'll be in good hands. So again, I'm going to go ahead and continue that. But for right now, guys, I am going to call it a day and we'll pick up on it tomorrow so we can start doing the fuel filter mounting onto the frame and along with the fuel regulator. I still need to take out pretty much all the paneling in back of the trunk, but pretty much I already emptied a lot of the stuff. This used to be like a second storage for all the car parts that were in here. So all that's taken out now. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I got to drill out the holes where we're going to be mounting the filter on the frame. And then from there I got to cut the 2 lines that go underneath, because as I stated multiple times already, we are going to be going all-wheel drive and we are going to be using a fuel cell. So in order for you to run that, you have to be, I'm going to be running brand new PTFE lines all the way up, so we have no restriction in flow of the fuel or any of that stuff. So let me go ahead and continue drilling those holes, tapping them and putting some rib nuts on them, so that way we can use hardware to mount the fuel filter into its location that it's going to be. Alright guys, so as you guys probably heard, I ended up messing up, but I was able to save it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use a bottom bracket mount down here. It's just, it is what it is. I'll probably just grind it off and kind of round it off so that way we can do it. It's basically the same way Dana EF Static did it. He used only one screw with some Loctite, and I think it should work also, because we will have a line putting pressure on forward and we'll have another line in the front of it pushing back, so it'll keep it secure. And either way, I will be running some like a foam padding so that way it won't destroy the paint later on. But I think we should be good there. I just need to change out the hardware, because the hardware that came with it was a standard size instead of a metric. So I will be going to the hardware and getting one of these in a metric style so that we can use it for the bracket. So now it's time just to go ahead and see what we can do with those fuel lines and those brake lines. I'm just gonna end up cutting those brake lines, doing the same thing, flaring them up, and then basically put them in a bag so that when it goes to paint, it'll be out of the way and it won't disturb them. The fuel lines, we are gonna have to get that done now, so that way pretty much we're set and where it needs to go. All right, guys. So pretty much now, let's go ahead and do the fuel system that I said. So as you guys can see, these lines came up over here, and now we have the filter right here. So I'm gonna run a small hose coming from there basically to the bottom of the car, which is gonna be a lot easier to route than having these in the engine bay. So I'm gonna use these same fittings, not these ones exactly, but I do have brand new ones that I'm gonna be using. And these have like a copper O-ring in the inside, and I'll show you guys when we get to that portion. I'm also gonna be deleting the rear brake lines just on the bottom of the car temporarily, because I'm gonna be running stainless steel braided lines inside of the car when we do the prop valve back out in the engine bay. I'm gonna create a small little portion of a hard line to run inside. Basically, it'll be like kind of like a brake tuck for the rear, because there's no other real way of routing the lines except for coming down basically, but it'll probably be in the way of the drive shaft and everything else. So I figured I might as well take it to where we can just put it inside of the car. Alright guys, pretty much I cut them all off. Now it looks like I have one of the wrong sizes right here for the return, so I only have enough to do the feed right now. I'm probably just gonna make my way tomorrow since the car is leaving on Saturday to paint, and I can get that pretty much taken care of. So basically what happens is you put this sleeve over the line. This copper sleeve also goes over the line, and basically you'll go ahead and start using this other piece here and thread it in to the sleeve. So you put it onto where the line is at. Basically the way I do it is I make sure that it touches the fitting, and then you slide over the line and just tighten it down, and that way it'll crush it. So all I did now, guys, was pretty much put this backup hose that I had here. They're both -6, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just leave it the way it is now. We should have enough clearance to roll it around in the trailer or the truck, whichever one he comes and picks it up on. So, and then I basically just put a little baggie on the brake lines because we're not gonna be using that. And this is, again, just a breather. So this is just temporary now, so that way if any fuel does come out of the gas tank, because I don't have batteries for that damn pump that I bought, but if it does come out or it does circulate, it'll just go back into the same tank for now. Either way, that fuel is very old. It's been in the car for quite a few months, actually. I say over almost a year and a half, 2 years, since the last car that actually drove from my friend. But yeah, guys, now the car is pretty much ready to go now, and we're just gonna wait until he comes and picks it up. Well guys, there you guys go. Pretty much the car is 100% stripped. Wing is off already, disassembled. Tail lights and everything is off. I just need to take off the moldings there and then basically take off the bumper, also throw that inside the car along with swapping out the wheels. But pretty much now all the car is pretty much taken apart. I also took off the headliner. That was a disaster to do because previous owner that had it, either before my homie or whoever did their work on it, did some pretty shitty work. I'm not gonna lie about it. As you can see, it is an aftermarket sunroof, which I didn't think it was, but to my surprise, it's an aftermarket sunroof. Maybe I should have known because of the switch that was up there, but I thought maybe they just switched the switch from the dash to up there. But it is what it is. I'll have to work around it because that's something else that I need to address. Here's the old headliner, and it is complete garbage. So whoever did this, stay the hell away from doing interior because that was shit. But anyway, sorry about that. I'm just venting. It's just a little bit more work that I got to put into the car. But it is what it is. We'll get through it and we'll continue making progress, guys. Well, guys, there you guys go. As you guys can see, we pretty much stripped the whole car. There's some small little stuff that needs to just be put inside the car, so when we transfer it over to the painter, basically nothing comes flying off as far as like the moving kit and the wing and stuff like that. But other than that, the car is ready. I did finish up some of the stuff as you guys seen, you know, the fuel lines and basically the brake lines. I cut them because they're not going to be needed, as we are going to be going with stainless steel braided lines all the way to the back. But yeah, pretty much that is gonna be the end of the video, guys. I know it wasn't a lot of progress, but some progress is always better than no progress at all, because this car wouldn't be where it's at if I didn't make any progress. So hopefully you guys are stoked for the new color, and once we get it back, guys, I promise you guys, all hands are on deck to get this car as ready as possible, just to see if we can possibly meet that deadline still, even though I kind of doubt it. But hey, we gotta push forward and see what we can do. So pretty much, guys, that is gonna be the end of it, and with that being said, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Till next time, guys.